Welcome everybody. We are here in Sukoró in Hungary for the World Climbing Europe Youth Championships in bouldering, and now it's time for the U17 semi-finals for women and men. So we are really pumped up to see this event. Alongside me, Noah. Welcome.
Hello, Laci.
Welcome to Sukoró again.
Welcome to you as well.
1 year after. My name is Laszlo Pinter. We are really looking forward to this event. It's been a great first 2 days, as I heard. Now we are really 100% into the semi-finals, and we are going to know at the end of the day who's going to go to the finals tomorrow.
Exactly. This is an even bigger event than we had last year here in Sukoró. There are more than 400 athletes representing more than 30 countries at the moment in this facility, which is a beautiful, beautiful place. There are also members of audience arriving now. A lot of people have registered to watch the competition live, so that's wonderful as well. But we are very happy that online there are also viewers and the families of competitors who are following the progress of the competition. And we already have the observation happening, so it would be great to show you a moment of that. So in the beginning of every climbing competition, in every round, exactly, now we can see the competitors trying to figure out how to climb each boulder. We call these boulder problems. So you have to come up with a solution. And maybe not everybody knows that in youth competitions for the qualifications, the competitors get a potential solution ahead of the competition. So just before, they have a clue, more or less, how to climb the qualification boulders. They don't necessarily use the same solution that has been shown to them, but they have an idea. However, in the semifinals and the finals, they don't. So they have to, right now is the first time that they are seeing the boulders, and they are trying to figure out what would be the best strategy to get up on the wall. You can see that it is very typical for team members to observe together, but it's also very typical of climbing that even though it is a competition, members of different teams also discuss with each other. They are trying to figure out things together, especially climbers who have a similar build and similar climbing style, like to try to come up with potential betas together.
I think that is one of the most beautiful things about this sport, that competitors who are really competing against each other for the win, they share their ideas, their thoughts, how different problems could be solved. I think that's pretty unique in the world of sport.
Yes, it is a very special thing, and it's also special on the one hand from this community aspect, but also because in most sports, I would say, you repeat a movement many times, and you try to go until perfection, and you go on competitions and perform something that you have a lot of routine in. Whereas in climbing, because of the structure of how this sport works, except for speed climbing, you are figuring out the moves that you're going to have to do there. So the mind and the body has to work together to figure out what it is that you're going to perform there. And many times we see athletes learning on the wall as they are trying to solve the boulders, and we can see how practiced they are at learning moves, actually, not at the moves themselves to repeat, but many times you can see even on coordination moves, which I'm sure we will see a lot of because it is very typical of the current competition style setting. So in coordinations, it is very hard to get it right the first time, but after they do it 2-3 times, very often it's immediately imprinted in the body, and then they can reproduce the same pattern of movement, which is super impressive.
Yeah, it's on the one side, it's teaching your body for different moves. On the other side, creativity to find out what those moves are.
Absolutely. And it really requires a presence in your body and the connection with each of your limbs and everything. We can see that slowly the audience is also arriving. out here at the entry hall where we are located. You don't see them at the screen yet, but
they will be there.
They will be there.
Yeah, that's great. They had 2 minutes per boulder to observe. I think that time is slowly running out, so they will need to get back to isolation, because that's very important that these climbers cannot see the boulders before the competition. So they need to find out everything right now, and of course later when they are called out to come out to climb. They will have 4 minutes to solve one boulder problem. Then they will have 4 minutes rest, and then they come for the second boulder. So that's how it goes. It's going to be interesting who's coming out on top today. Only one Hungarian girl going in the U19 category, so
yes.
in the older
yes,
generation.
We'll have Eszter Zsáka in the under 19 age category. Many of the athletes who made it to semifinals during the qualifications yesterday and day before yesterday are competitors who are medalists from earlier European Youth Cup series and other championships and large competitions. So there is probably going to be a fierce battle about who will get into finals. So I'm sure we'll see some exciting moments.
Altogether 24 athletes lining up, also in the men's and women's category.
Yes, maybe it's useful to summarize that today we'll see 3 semifinals at this competition. We'll start with the under 17 category, then we continue under 19, and then finally under 21 years old category.
And it's very important to see already from, I think, the U19 category, those athletes, because some of them are already making progress in World Cup level. So
absolutely, yes.
young guns are coming up.
Yes, yes, and also the U17 category is interesting. The ones we will start with today for that purpose. There is a bit of overlap because one can already compete at adult level once they complete 16 years of age. So sometimes there can be competitors who are competing in both. The youth circuit for the younger athletes who also compete on the adult level is often used as a kind of training.
Yeah.
So they are participating in the circuit for a season, which helps them to prepare if after they are going to be sent to adult level comps.
Now you see the other wall, because there are 2 walls where the routes are built up. That's the second one, a little bit even more inclination, so it's a little bit more harder. Now the girls are coming out, and even in the girls category we start from the age of 14, so pretty young girls coming up.
Yes, really young. And next week there is also going to be a competition here in Sukoró next weekend. It will be a regional cup, which is a new format that the Climbing Federation is trying. So it will be mainly Central and Eastern European competitors in the U15 and U13 categories. So even under 13-year-olds, so 12, 11-year-olds will have an opportunity to try out a serious competition format, which I think is very, very important now, because we can see that high-level competition climbing is starting at an earlier and earlier age.
Absolutely.
So nowadays, most athletes start climbing when they are around 6 years old, and they are starting to achieve very impressive results by the time they are 11, 12 years old.
Yeah, if you take a look at your local scene, I'm sure it's the same in other countries, but here in Hungary as well, there are really many kids and a little bit more mature competitions, but really from 6, 7, 8 years old, and they are really focused and they are really, really pumped up to compete against each other.
Yeah, and not just against each other, but against the boulders, because
exactly.
in climbing we very often emphasize that this is between you and the boulder problem, and very often it's not even between you and the boulder problem, but between you and yourself.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
The mental part is such a huge component in climbing. It is very easy to get discouraged, especially in a competition setting when you feel pressure, where you know people are watching. You want to do good. You want to make your team proud. And we can often see, even on the adult level at World Cups, that some athletes, if they don't manage something that they really expected themselves to do, it can determine the rest of the competition for them. So it's very important also the mental game in this sport, to not be discouraged.
Well, climbing is generally a sport where you can learn a lot about yourself.
For sure, for sure. A lot of people are using it also as a sort of self-knowledge tool and mental health tool, and also as it's a way to check in with yourself as well. Often when I speak with climbers, it's like, okay, I went climbing and I've realized that I'm a bit depressed, or I went climbing and I've realized something about my general state of mind, you know, or how I am. So it's very interesting in the mental aspect.
And sport climbing in general, not only about competition, but also as a recreational sport, it's a really helpful sport just to improve your body awareness and also getting focused on different things, because if you go climbing, you close out everything, you just focus on the problem. So I think that is really helpful mentally and also physically for your development.
Absolutely. Well, that's what got me addicted. That really, nothing else exists in that moment. It's a sort of, sometimes I say it's a sort of forced mindfulness or a forced meditation, that you have no choice but to focus, and it's great. You want that, so you can become in a full flow. We also just saw one of the climbing gyms in Hungary. The gyms here in Hungary, many of them are supporting this event, and we can see some of their materials here, and our other sponsors. And where one of the gyms is called Flow, which is a reference to this concept that we climbers often feel that we can achieve on the wall, or in the ideal case. Not necessarily often, but in the ideal case is that you achieve this state, that you are in full flow and presence, and without thinking, intuitively, just the body and the mind is working together.
Yeah, flow is something like Janja Garnbret got when she climbed bibliography a few days ago.
Yes.
That was really flow.
That was really flow. It was beautiful. Like you wouldn't think that it's a 9B plus sports route from the way of watching that. But of course there is also a bit of footage of earlier tries where we can see that it is extremely hard. But by the point she climbed it just this week, early this week this was.
I think it was.
So by that point it was in a beautiful flow, sort of like water going up the wall.
So slowly we get along with the competition. Less than 1 minute for the first athletes to come out, the first climbers. And of course, as we are progressing, we are going to have an idea how the boulders look like, what types of boulders they are, how hard they are, which boulders might be the ones that will select the field.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a very versatile sport. So usually in competitions, each boulder tries to represent a different style. So tries to bring forth movement patterns from athletes which are rather different. We usually have a slabby boulder, which means more balancy. It's more about small holds, small steps. On this wall that we see right now, it's on the far left side, where it's vertical or positive. So it is not inclined towards the climber, but away from the climber. We usually have coordination boulders, dynamic ones with big jumps. We usually have a power endurance boulder.
And the first two climbers are coming up.
Yes.
The first female and the first male athletes. From the women's side, we have the 14-year-old French woman, Julia Tranfanau. I think, as I remember, this is her second competition ever on this level. She was 15th in the European Youth Series in Soar in France. And from the men's side, we have from the Ukraine, Artemy Sivash.
And they are hungrily getting on the wall. Especially Tran is already starting with the slab boulder. And now Sivash is also starting, and this seems like a bit more dynamic. The two climbers are climbing next to each other now. Maybe we can see them both at the same time.
Nice jump.
Oh, there is a beautiful contrast already showcasing a bit this versatility of climbing. We see this, the slab boulder, where Tran is confidently making her way through.
That is all about balance.
This is all about tension and balance and small steps.
Oh, nice.
Very confident, and this was a flash try, if I understand correctly. So this was her first try, and she managed it in the first go. Beautiful.
Great start for Julia.
Especially so because in the qualification rounds, it was the slab that was the most challenging, typically, for these young athletes. Maybe they are a bit less used to that than the flashier style at the moment. And let's see the last move from the Ukrainian. And we have another top.
Nice.
What a great start for the event today. Two tops.
Artemy is 16 years of age. He was sixth in Graz in the Europe Youth Series this year, just at the beginning of May, 1 month ago. So he might be great on form.
And interestingly, the slab was completed earlier than the dynamic boulder next to it, which is usually not the case. So slab boulders, because of the precision, usually require longer time, and it's very hard to perform them in a competition setting when there is the pressure and the time ticking. But apparently, this was a really suitable boulder for our first competitor. So
still more than 1 minute to go. You know, if you finish before or earlier than the 4 minutes goes up, you just can have more rest. But the other guys cannot come out earlier, so they don't know what happened. So they have a minute about to come out for the second athletes.
Exactly.
On the women's side, we are going to welcome a Czech climber, Adela Bodanska. She was bronze medalist in Sukoró in the European Championships 25 last year. And French climber coming up from the men's side, Esteban Turnus. They still have 20 seconds to prepare. And of course, the sooner you finish, the more rest you have for the rest of the competition. So it's really important to be able to make a flash, and also it is represented in the results. If you top out the boulder for the first try, of course, it's a big advantage. Five seconds. And now 4 minutes starting again, so two athletes running to the boulders again. So it's on the women's side, Adela Bodanska from the Czech Republic, 16 years of age. She was already here last year in Sukoró, getting 4th place, just off the podium. And then we'll have the French guy, Esteban Turnus, if I pronounce his name right. You are the French, so let me help out.
I think Esteban actually is originally a Spanish name, so he might have some Spanish background as well. So we are seeing the second competitor on the slab boulder. Adela Bodanska. Meticulously cross-stepping her way through. On slabs, very often you need to generate the tension in your body to not fall off the wall. So we are seeing that she's trying to set up her left foot in order to, and we
Wow,
have a
nice.
second top.
He's only 15, Esteban, and according to the result, this is his third competition. He was 10th in Graz. How annoying is, or how does the other climber takes your focus on a slab? Somebody's jumping on your right side and you need to focus on balance. Does it disturb you at all?
I think it really depends on the mindset of a particular climber. Some are very easily distracted. I think it's better if it's not a fellow competitor from the same category. So with girls and boys, I think it's a bit easier because it's not like it matters for your ranking what the other does.
Okay.
But when they have to climb next to each other from the same category and the same sex, it can be quite distracting for them. They often mention that, yes, I heard that he or she topped, so I felt the pressure that I also have to rush and things like this, so it can matter. So we see setting up for this step and trying to generate, there is a different, it's a different strategy she was trying with the hands in order to create tension in her upper body for this step to feel safer. But probably it's better her first strategy that she started with, which was pulling on the zone hold.
And of course, not all climbers have the same style, have the same strength in the different types of boulders. Somebody is better on slabs, somebody is better on the 4C moves. On the big overhangs, for example, and you have power boulders. Somebody is better in dynamics.
Yeah, exactly. You often hear climbers talking about, that's my style of boulder, that's my anti-style. Anti-style is the thing that you are the worst at, that you really don't find it easy to figure out. So we are seeing Adela Bodanska try in her last half minute. And she doesn't seem to find a good way to step.
22 seconds. I think this might be her last try. And as the time is ticking away, you try to be even more quicker, which doesn't really help, of course, but sometimes it can stick.
Yeah. Rushing is not great on a slab.
And it's not gonna be a top for this time. Yeah, Adela Bodanska could not top out this, the starting boulder for her.
And in a few seconds we see the next round of competitors starting. And this is a good opportunity maybe to review how a boulder problem is built up. So you see these tapes at the beginning of the boulders. These signify that you have to put a limb on each of the volumes or holes where there is a tape. You determine which limb goes where. So hands, feet, you choose how you can best start the route. And then there is a zone hold, usually after the first kind of harder part of the boulder problem, and then there is the top hold, and you get 10 points for the zone hold and 25, I believe, for the top.
So now the third athletes from Croatia, Marta Latinac, 16 years of age. She was 9th in the youth series in Graz. And from the men's side, we have Idan Ukman from Israel. And also on the second boulders, we welcome again Julia Tramfanov from France and Artemis Ivash from the Ukraine.
Exactly, so there will be some familiar faces already who came back after a rest. And we can see the women's and the men's second boulders as well.
That's Marta.
Marta attempting the cross step that we saw Adela fall on. And can she smear well this tiny step to generate the right angle of tension with pulling this zone hold.
You already told us that it's around 400 athletes taking part in this competition this week here in Sukoró. How many people are behind the scenes? Volunteers, organizers? Do you have any idea? Because
so
it's a
many.
huge
I would
event.
say that counting volunteers as well, we had 60 volunteers, more than 60 volunteers. Oh, and we have a
wow,
top.
nice.
Let's watch a. Opa. Okay.
Ida Nukman.
Yes, Ida Nukman on the men's first boulder just achieved the top, and
wow.
Let's see the French athlete on the women's second boulder.
Just a slip.
She flashed the
first one.
The first one. But this one seems a bit more burly. There is a tiny edge that the competitors have to pull on in that boulder.
1 minute to go. So it's 60 volunteers and
yes,
many
I would
more.
say that around 60 volunteers and a lot of people behind the scenes. There is also the judges, which is a huge team of people. I would say that from organizers we are at least 100 people.
Wow.
Not everyone working at the same time, of course.
Half a minute to go. So it's still Julia on the second boulder. And she can't figure it out again. And also for Marta, she is having problems on the first slabby boulder.
And the Ukrainian competitor managed to get out on the right into this volume, into a shoulder press, and try to proceed on, but probably it's important to step up with the left foot to this hold that on the right hand side you see the brushers brushing the furthermost. Yes, that one. My guess would be that one has to step up with the left foot on that, and by pressing with the left foot and the right palm at the same time, you can sort of press yourself upwards and reach up with the left hand. But that's just my guess for the beta.
Okay. So we have the fourth climbers coming out. From France we have Lisa Guidoni, little Italian sounding name, 15 years of age. And from Switzerland on the men's side, Bastian Darunna.
We have a lot of Italians and a lot of Swiss and French competitors in the semi-finals today.
Well, of course, traditionally the Alpine countries are doing really great in sport climbing. France was probably one of the... Oops.
Oh,
wow.
Saved it with a quick little toe hook, if I see it right.
That was very quick. Not even a minute.
Yes. Nearly fell out of the wall.
Yeah.
And here we see this pressing. And the French competitor manages to get the penultimate hold. Will we see a first stop on the men's second? And no. This proved a bit too much. Didn't figure out in time where to put his feet.
And that was precious power that he left on the wall.
Yes, every try is very costly power-wise. So this is also a thing that competitors have to take into account. It's a bit strategic to distribute your power correctly throughout the competition. So how many tries you do, how much you rest, how do you use those precious 4 minutes that you have?
In every sport, breathing is very important, but probably on a slabby boulder like this, breathing is the most important thing.
Yes, it's very, very important, and one is often tempted to hold back their breath because you just focus so much, and we just tend to do that. This also happens, many people say that it happens to them on the rock, that they're focusing so much, and it's really important to have a routine for how you make yourself breathe and remind yourself to take deep breaths. When I get too scared outdoors on rocks, I hum to myself, and humming or singing also forces you to breathe. And we are seeing again some valiant tries on the female and male second boulder.
Yeah, that's Esteban again.
Let's see if he can get further this time, if he can think in advance of where to put his feet now. Will there be, yes, a foot switch? Wonderful.
Wow.
And how to establish, to match.
That's it. And now Adela, she can't grip
that
it.
was just slightly undercommitted for Adela. Let's hope that she didn't lose her confidence after the first boulder, which she couldn't top.
And that's again a very important issue, what you just mentioned, confidence. Sometimes if you go out on the first boulder and make a top, you just get in the flow that we have already been talking about. And sometimes if you fail on the first one, you tend to perform not that
as
good.
Confidently.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But we can also see the opposite just in a recent World Cup. Majdi Schalk started very strong with a crazy dynamic move, but then he couldn't stop being dynamic. He became so confident that he couldn't slow down, and the other boulders proved a challenge because of this. But yeah, it many times can happen that the confidence is wobbling, and then it's very hard to bring it back.
So Lisa is not going to top this boulder either. That was Lisa Guidoni from France. Now the brushers come out. It's also a very, very important job to clean the holds so that it has the same grip for all athletes.
That's exactly right, especially given that there have been 2 days of qualifications before where some of these holds were used already, and today 24 athletes will climb here, and I believe yeah, similar holds will be used. I mean, there is a huge set of holds that were brought here for this competition. They take up 2 rooms. The setting has been going for 6 days to set up the problems and come up with the problems for all the rounds. So there is a big variation. And we can see some cheers from the crowd.
And you also see that the climbers themselves, they also brush. They don't trust you.
Yeah.
Just a glimpse from the third boulder we already have seen from Julia Tramfanao, the French guy. And this one here is Olivia Kistmacher from Germany. And the Spanish guy is Jimenez Mendaña.
Oh, wow. Didn't put in. So that's why I said, you know, too much momentum can also be too bad, because it can make you fall out of the wall, basically. And because this Spanish competitor jumped a bit faster than when we saw this before, he couldn't place the right toe hook quick enough. Oh, there is a funky little screw hole holding. No, it's the edge of the volume.
Wow.
And German competitor gets a second top on that boulder.
And Daniel also making the top in the end.
He probably managed to slow down that motion in the end in order to put in the little toe hook to stabilize himself.
Daniel Mendaña Jimenez, 16 years of age.
And we see the third boulder for both women and men, or well, girls and boys. And
that's
we
a power
see
one.
that yes, the women's one seems to be a really power endurance focused boulder, whereas on the men's side we see the coordination. And the women's too also. The Croatian competitor is trying to start with the coordination.
She's Marta Latinac. She was 9th in the European series, youth series in Graz. Wow,
and the
nice.
Beautiful jump. The trick there is not to try to stop yourself at the end of the move, but let the momentum take your swing back. And she performed that beautifully.
Oof.
Somehow she didn't feel that she was set up right. Here again, it's a bit similar, just facing the other direction than on the slab. So competitors have to find the exact right angle and position to generate tension between pulling the not very comfortable hand hold and pushing with the feet. And we are back on Boulders 3. Let's see, the jump again, the leg comes back. It was even more comfortable, more slow. Let's see if these 20 seconds will be enough for a top.
Maybe this will be her last try.
Most likely.
Let's see if she can figure this out. 10 seconds. Trying a different sequence.
And she tried to climb more from the right side of this volume, but it is also a strategic question whether you try to approach a boulder in a different way. If you try a few times a particular solution and it doesn't work out, some competitors prefer to stick with it and try to force to make it work, and some start to experiment, which can be a good idea after a few tries if you don't feel like it's going to go with your original idea, but it can also be a bit confusing.
And it's also about the 4 minutes. Many of the climbers could top out those boulders probably in 6, 7, 10 minutes,
yes,
whatever.
Absolutely.
They figure it out in the end, but you just have 4 minutes.
Absolutely.
That's how you can select the field.
Yeah. So they have to really think fast and move, well, as fast as possible to fit figuring it out. Very often you see competitors looking back on boulders they haven't completed, and you can clearly see that they would prefer to continue the session right now until they can figure out that boulder.
So it's Slovenia. Neva Pirš, 16 years of age. She was here last year, and last year we organized a European Cup, not a championship. She was 9th then. So already making a name for herself. And on the other hand, we have Vincent van Hage.
She cross steps into the other jib. Okay, doesn't suit her, this solution. Let's see if she can establish for the tension here.
Oh.
No. We could see literally the athletes thinking on the wall often,
yeah.
No? Like this, like, I tried this, no, it doesn't work, let's try that. So you see the physical thinking process.
That's Lisa Guidoni, the French girl. And her second boulder.
And it shows us that even the start is not that self-evident. She manages to stick it again.
You see the nice toe hook. And one of the things that the judges are looking at is the start position, whether you do it correctly with the different limbs, hands and feet are in the right order.
Yeah, that indeed you are touching all the holes which have a little mark on them, a little tape on them. Let's see if she manages to establish. Oh, wow. So yeah, because often it can happen that an athlete is very excited to progress with the competition and just go and forgets to use one of the starting holes.
Yeah.
We see the slab again.
A little bit more than 1 minute.
And also on the men's third boulder, we see a progress, and there might be a top soon there. If we could see it on the men's third, yes. And, oh, that was close, maybe a bit undercommitted. It looked a bit like as if he himself is not sure to believe that he will reach there.
Yeah, still has one try, I think.
Yes, this is a much snappier, quicker boulder. If this was a slab, then probably not in 30 seconds,
wow.
But here maybe.
Angry with himself, slipping down from the lower volume. Now,
yeah. Here it's very important to arrive just with the right amount of momentum to be able to just clack, stop yourself exactly at the right time. Some excitement, some cheers from the crowd here as there is a last try on this boulder. Let's see if he can commit well enough. Up, up, up.
No.
They are still... Oh.
just for the feel of it, he was going on it.
Yes.
Time was running up already.
He didn't really have a plan on what to do with his feet there.
Exactly.
I imagine that either it's to press into the wall, or maybe there is a right heel hook on this transparent, no texture hold on the right side. But I'm sure we will see some solutions for how to top that.
That's quite a difficult boulder. It's like a combination of a slab and a dynamic boulder. So just jumping on a slab.
Yeah.
Pretty hard to stop.
Yeah, here it's a bit complex because this main wall that we are seeing right now, which is set up permanently in this facility, it doesn't have very negative angles. So it's tricky. It's tricky here. They have to set a lot of boulders which are not hard just because of the inclination, but that are made hard because of this kind of varying styles. And we see 4 competitors at the same time. A lot of action going on at the wall. And the crowd is cheering as well. Will we see another top here?
There you go.
We do.
Nice.
The Spanish competitor. Or no, Swiss, sorry. No, Spanish. Where is he? Yes, Daniel Medalla Jimenez has just topped.
And that's 2 tops for him already.
2 tops, yes. And this one was a flash attempt, so he climbed it on his first go. Whereas the first boulder, he required a few more.
And just a few words about the scoring, how it works, because it's very, very important. It has been changed in past years. Now you get 25 points for topping a boulder if you top it for the first try. So that means if you flash the boulder, and every try you lose, you will lose 0.1 points. So if you top the boulder for the second try, it's 24.9 points.
Exactly.
So you can get altogether 100 points, and then all tries that you made, unsuccessful attempts, will deduct you 0.1 points.
Yes. So 100 points would come together from 4 boulders, each
4
25
flashes.
points and 4 flashes. Rare to see.
Yeah. But 99.9,
yes,
you already see sometimes.
Yeah, we see sometimes. And so every attempt is costly, which is also something that that athletes are often finding it challenging not to get into their head about it, how many attempts something took.
Yeah.
Because, you know, once you figure it out, it feels so obvious. And you are like, oh, I didn't have to lose that many attempts on it.
You regret the 5 tries you gave up.
Yeah, exactly. But if you didn't have the 5 tries, you wouldn't have figured it out, the obvious solution. So.
That's
and we are seeing a very nice attempt here. She doesn't know it. Athletes do not see each other, right? They are in isolation, so she doesn't know that she was one of the closest so far to topping that boulder. And here in the power endurance one,
this was Marta Latina's
struggle and a bit of rushing on this slab.
Yeah,
right,
because the time is running up.
Yeah,
5 seconds. And how important those tries are, if you take a look at the scoreboard on the men's side. Daniel Medalla Jimenez is leading with 2 tops. Behind him, Esteban Turnus, the French guy, in second. And only 0.1 is the difference, because Turnus needed 1 more attempt for the 2 tops than Daniel. So that's a very, very small margin. Only 1 try.
Exactly. However, Esteban already gave his try on the 3rd boulder.
Yeah, of course, he's taking over. That was the result from the 2nd boulder, or after the 2nd boulder. And one more important issue on the scoring, it's not only the top that counts. There's a zone hold for 10 points that you can reach, and also the tries on that will count. So you can get smaller points as well. You can collect some points. If you can't really top one boulder, you still can score a few points.
Exactly. This was also added for a bit of clearer separation between the athletes, because really the level is improving by the minute in sports climbing. Yeah. So you really need to come up with creative ways to achieve a level of differentiation between the competitors to be able to rank them clearly. Very interesting position here from Slovenian competitor.
She's Neva Pirš. She already knows the location, being here last year in the European Cup, coming out 9th place.
We heard very nice feedback from last year's athletes about the comp. We are hoping that they are enjoying it here as well this year. Everybody's taking a moment to brush, rest, reassess. And on the men's second boulder, Vincent van Haag, I think.
That's Lisa Guidoni, the French girl, on her third boulder.
Let's see.
Oh.
It seems like a very, very tricky foot placement there. And I see climbers stepping it with the tip of their shoe, the front point, which is usually in climbing the preferred part of the shoe to use. But sometimes very tiny differences in whether you use the outer edge of that point or the front point or the inner edge, they can make big difference. And I think that's what they're struggling with, is to find. Now she's cross-stepping here in order to not have to do that cross-step. She's trying to come up with a different solution for this here. And this solution might work out for her, but meanwhile, yes. On the women's first boulder, we also see a new solution. Will she manage to jump and top? And yes, we have a top there, the women's first boulder.
She was Maja Juszczyńska from Poland, 15 years of age, just running out on the picture.
While the brushers are rushing, we are waiting for the next round of athletes.
Yeah, she made really good use of the time.
Yeah.
It was like 20 seconds to go when she topped it.
And a very creative solution on this first slabby problem. So in order to not have to cross-step, she cross-stepped earlier so that she will arrive with the right foot on the right side of the volume. Cool little hack.
So we're gonna see a Bulgarian girl on boulder problem number 1, Ida Hristoskova.
Wow, that's a flash, I believe.
Yeah, that was Laurin Becker from Germany. Didn't even needed a minute.
Yeah, but it seems like, well, for the women it's a bit more challenging, the first boulder. It requires a bit more accuracy, but it seems like the routes are getting progressively harder so far. So first one, we see more tops, second ones less, and we see fewer and fewer as we are progressing. That was not a bad first try. And here we have men's third boulder. Let's see if the Spanish competitor can figure out a way to establish for the top. Daniel Mendaña Jimenez. It's a very, very tiny foothold with which to make that tension, and we see coordination, jumpy, swingy coordination move for that is the women's fourth boulder, I imagine.
Yeah, and this is the Bulgarian girl, Christoskova. She was here last year, coming out 6th.
Yes, she has got it. She nearly had it in the previous attempt. Now she had it properly. Also useful maybe to clarify that what it means to complete a boulder, so to top a boulder, is to match with both hands for at least 3 seconds or 3 counts. So it looked like there is not only a coordination start, but a pedal dyno to finish on that fourth boulder. So route setters are not setting an easy job for competitors here.
This is Varvara Sapronova from Israel, 14 years of age. Less than a minute to go, and she doesn't really get it this time either. She still has one more try, I think.
Let's see the pedal. She tried to match it and it was too slow. It's probably a left, right, left type of situation.
Yeah, that was Marta Latinac again. And this is Varvara Sapronova. 23 seconds. Wow, just slipping with the foot there. Doesn't really seem too convinced that she's gonna make it. And I think that was a give up also on the men's side, because it's only 7 seconds to go. So 10 seconds and we are going to welcome the new athletes from Germany, London Street for the women's side. And on the men's side, we're going to welcome the Swiss Olivier Huisman. Those are the two new athletes we haven't seen yet.
And let's see another try on this coordination jump. And the men's fourth boulder, which we haven't yet seen.
That's Huisman on the first one.
Let's see if we see a final move on this. The step higher up is very bad.
Wow!
Again. Yeah, it seems like one needs to generate tension by pressing the foot into the left wall, which is at a bit of an angle. So with this type of holes that we see on the top on the men's third boulder, you can't just hang off of it. You need a counterpoint to generate tension with.
Yeah, that's London Street from Germany, falling off from the first try on the slabby boulder for the women. So now come the swings and the jump and the hold, and you are out of the wall.
Yes, and this is some of the most challenging things to jump and arrive down. One can be so scared of the injuries that can be obtained like this. Hop, and there is the tension point.
Wow.
We have first stop on this third boulder and the triumphant happiness.
That was Vincent van Hagen, if I'm right.
Trying to use the hold in unintended ways over here, trying to use the right edge of this edge. But this is a dual tax hold, which means there is only friction on the left side of it, which we can see it's being chalky, and the right side is of a slippery texture. Well, no texture actually.
Yeah, if these volumes are shiny, then you know it doesn't have any grip.
Yes, but she still tried to hold, you know, the edge of it where it's screwed to the wall.
Yeah.
You are allowed in competitions. You're not allowed to use these holes that you can see that are in lines on the wall, which are the screw holes to.
Wow, that was a nice move.
Yes. Great job.
London Street from Germany.
And she didn't get discouraged from her earlier attempts, and this was a beautiful, confident, very efficient top from her.
16 years of age, she was 17th in Graz, 21st in Molde last year, and also last year 32nd in Graz, so this is practically her fourth competition.
This very interesting solution of using the right side of this hold has worked for her
6
so
seconds.
far. Let's see if she can establish. And there is a top.
And it's also nice. She took the choke back with her.
Yes,
not all of the
unusual.
athletes. Yeah, on Boulder probably it's not really usual. She really used up her time.
Yes.
That was Maja Juszczyńska from Poland.
And
Great
I think
job.
I think she has the route setter scratching their head a bit now because
that wasn't the idea.
I don't think that this was intended.
Yeah, that's also an important and funny point of sport climbing. Route setting is probably the basis of all. That's how you can make a competition, ruin a competition.
Yes.
Everything is about the route setters getting the right balance, getting the right hardness of the routes so that they can select the field. But they also have an idea how a route can be climbed, and sometimes the athletes override the things.
Exactly. It's really special, and you know they are the minds behind all of this. They are setting up the whole competition, both from the audience side. They have to take so many things into account. They have to make sure that there are some spectacular moves, that the audience will enjoy themselves, and also that there is a good separation, that the problems look good. So there is so much for them that they have to consider. They are the heart of the competition and the mind of the competition. In fact, we are using this opportunity in the Hungarian Federation to shoot a small documentary about route setting related to this competition, and we are interviewing route setters yesterday and today for that, to highlight the importance of their work. And in the meantime, we are very close to a top on the women's second boulder by the Bulgarian competitor. Let's see if she finds the same hack as we've seen before, or she's trying to go with the intended beta. She's doing Gaston on this hold. It's sort of like a single hold Gaston, and then she's flipping it. We can see the extreme effort on the left foot. Will she find a
there
top?
You go.
And that's a
look
top. And that is determination.
Yeah.
That is determination.
Look at the legs shaking.
And she kind of, wow. And she looked at the judges with like a raised eyebrow. Like,
Am I right?
Was that stable enough? Did I catch it? Beautiful. You see how determined the competitors are.
And that's Laurin Becker from Germany. Just missing The last move.
She tried to do two things at the same time, to put up the left foot at the same time as sort of leaning out for this right press move. But you don't need to do that at the same time. I'm sure he will figure it out, that there is no need to complicate it. And we see the man's third boulder again, still with only one top so far.
40 seconds to go in this round. That's the Polish guy, Konstanty Wlodarski.
And let's see, Oppa. That, with a bit more patience and planning, that could have been a top from him, but he made a bit of a quick move there for the jump.
That's Olivia Kistmacher. She didn't get the top this time. Elisa Daddario walking down from the stage. And the next round of athletes are coming up. Geeke Havemans from the Netherlands and Emiliano Zingrini from Italy on the men's side. You already see with the brush the German girl, London Street, topping out the first boulder. We will see whether she has some luck on the second one. And this one's Maja Juszczyńska from Poland, also brushing herself on the boulders.
Yeah, she takes off the chalk bag. Usually boulderers don't take the chalk bag with them because it's a shorter thing than lead sport climbing, and it can be in your way, you know, because there are so many spectacular moves that chalk can fly all over the place.
And it's plus 15 grams.
Yeah, exactly, as well. Yeah. But it's typical of those who have a more sport climbing style, more of a lead style, who rest a lot even on boulders. For them, it's typical to keep the chalk bag on themselves. Annie Sanders is typical about this. Laura Rogora also, if she boulders, she brings her chalk bag.
And there must be also a difference how sweaty your hands are.
Oh yes, of course. That's a huge difference in climbing. You often see climbers talking about their what type of skin they have, what type of sweatiness they have. These kind of details matter a lot.
It's very good that you mentioned the skin. I think that is also one of the most important things that an athlete has to take care of. Especially during a multiple-day competition like this. You have qualification, you have semi-finals, you have the final, and at the end of the day, you don't have at the end of the weekend, you don't have any skin left.
Exactly.
So you need to really take care of it.
And we are.
Wow.
Have we seen? Did London Street also top the?
She walks away, so I think so.
That seemed like a rather brief top, but.
Yeah. I hope she checked.
Yes, I hope she checked. We see another type of cross-stepping solution here. Yes, too far.
And many times you see the athletes holding the top hold and looking back on the judges whether it stands or not. It's very important that the judges gives the nod that it really is a good attempt.
Yes, and that the top was held for long enough. Enough counts. And we are seeing a closer look at the start of men's boulder number 2 now. A limb on each start hold. And this looks like a very struggly, powerful start before going out to the shoulder press that we already know.
That's Olivier Huisman, the Swiss guy. 12 seconds. He's really rushing it, and he needs to, but it's not gonna stick this time.
Oh, this has been a less successful round.
Yeah, that was Gieke Havermans from the Netherlands on the girls' side, running out of time and running out from the stage. So it's French affair again. Iloé Sherif Michel on the women's side, and from Austria, Julian Leitner. There is Iloé. Of course, the French are really, really strong in sport climbing in all age categories, and also representing at the highest level in the World Cup, Olympics, wherever you want to go.
Yes, and just recently we started to have this, what we were used to with Japanese competitors, that in finals there are even 3 French competitors sometimes. So, and slab is supposed to be, you know, a very suitable style for French climbers. So it's a bit surprising that we don't see a flash on this, but they train a lot on slabs, the French team. In fact, the Hungarian team as well just recently had a training camp in France to practice slabs, because that's something that it would be great to...
That's the home of slabs.
That's the home of slabs. That's the home of slabs.
2.5 minutes.
Beautiful. Okay, she established in the intended data sequence.
That was really, really
that was
nice.
Close.
271. That's Navarrete from Spain. Manuel Navarrete Alcaraz, 16 years of age. Not too many results on the international competition scene. He's been 57th in Graz this year, and he was 18th in Seoul. You also need some time for your muscles to rest. It's not only the thinking that needs time.
Indeed, though at this age they have, I think, a quicker regeneration time. It's really impressive how quickly, really, even from injuries, the younger athletes just regenerate so much quicker. And we see also in the competition circuit that they are getting younger and younger, like younger and younger generations are starting to dominate.
And it's so nice to see. They make it look so easy. All these, not only the young athletes, but usually sport climbers competing at this level. I couldn't even get in the start move, and then I should be taken out from the stretcher. So it's really, really hard. But they make it look so easy.
Yeah, it's extremely hard. We are going to have a special event, a special opportunity tomorrow after the end of the finals. The competitors who didn't get to climb in the finals and the audience members will have an opportunity to try to see some of the boulders for themselves. Last year people were trying to do this unofficially, so now we decided to give it a structured form. So this is partly also to get an understanding of how hard it is to even start these routes, but also because everybody is, you know, watching climbing all weekend and they just can't wait to touch some holes now.
And of course, it's a great opportunity to touch some of these types of holes, because it's not every gym has these competition type of holes, because they're really special, really expensive to get, of course. So if you want to make a world-class gym, then you better grab very deeply in your pocket.
Yes, yes. Also, what's I think different and maybe not obvious about these competition boulders, what is different from a gym is that the moves are just so much bigger. It's like as if, you know, when you have a picture on your computer and you take a corner of the picture and you just pull it way out. They have to reach in so reachy ways. They have to jump with such distances. Everything is bigger, except for small horns, because those are smaller.
Yeah.
So everything is just a bit harder than for normal, you know, gym-going people.
It's also difficult for gyms, I think, because they are.
Wow,
we that's nice.
Second top.
That's beautiful.
On the men's third boulder.
So it's difficult for gyms because they usually aim at recreational climbers.
Of course.
But of course, somehow you need to develop competition climbers as well. So they need the facilities, they need the places where they can practice on these types of holds once, and also the routes are difficult enough so that they can develop. So it's pretty big contradiction sometimes, and then a big finding of balance.
And doing these boulders, exactly because what we just discussed before, building them requires a lot of space, because you need all these like huge moves, huge reaches, big jumps, big coordination. Let's see if this proves to be the most challenging, one of the two most challenging boulders of the women's round now. Let's see if we get another one of the rare tops on it.
She's very close. Ow! Just slipping with the right hand. Straight away losing balance.
We only had two on that so far, didn't we?
That was London Street, her third boulder. She still has 1 minute 15 to go. Let's see how she stands at the moment. She's leading. Two tops. But she had the least tries. She's leading ahead of Ida Christoskova and Maja Juszczynska. Those three girls are the ones who have already topped two routes. And of course, Christoskova and Juszczynska has already finished on her third boulder, and didn't score any points. So Street can establish herself if she can stick this. And now we are with the Netherlands girl. That's Geke Havemans.
Looking desperately for this left foot hold. This was such a typical climbing moment.
And Street has also left the place, so that means she didn't succeed, but is still going to stay in the lead. She didn't score any points either, so that's nice. The first three in the women's comp at the moment did not score any points on third boulder. And the difference is only 0.2 of 2 points between the first and the third one. So it's 49.6, 49.5 and 49.4.
Yeah, so that's how much attempts count.
Yeah. So that's Italy. Elisa Daddario. Long hands. And there's a Spanish friend. It's Navarrete. Manuel Navarrete Alcaraz, his full name.
Oh.
He was even trying to put his feet on the
Yes.
wall.
Yes.
That is not part of the climbing wall, but
Yes. So for those of us new to climbing, you cannot use the wall. That is not the climbing wall.
looking back on the clock.
Here we have the determined Bulgarian competitor who we saw the top from, the shaky leg, but very committed top.
Yeah, that's Ida Hristoskova.
Oh, very, very promising landing on this down jump. Tries to immediately establish a left hand pull on this volume that she jumps onto.
She's second at the moment after 3 boulders. And only second by 0.01. It's a 0.01 of a point behind Street. Sorry.
3 boulders, 2 tops, and this is her last one. And he establishes.
There was a top from the Spanish guy on the 3rd boulder. That was nice.
He established in the same way as we've seen before. So it looks like if you figure out that you have to press, yeah. So she's going with this left, right, left pedaling move. So it looks like on the men's 3rd boulder, if you figure out that a counter pressure to the left will help you establish on the top hold, then you basically have it.
And the girl in the picture is Maia Eni from Romania. She's been in the World Championships last year. She was in the final in boulder and in lead. So she really is one to watch out for.
Yes, for sure.
Only 16 years of age. She was 6th in Graz. Last year, 5th in lead in the European Championship.
Too bad. The time was not enough to figure out now the slap sequence for her. But we'll see her again soon.
Yeah, that's interesting because those who topped the first 2 boulders didn't score any points on the 3rd one. Maybe she can change that. There will be a possibility for her to catch up with the other girls.
It's very possible.
But of course she needs to top the 2nd one.
Yes. It can be a matter of style.
Yeah.
The 3rd one looks like a really, really powerful boulder. So it is less about, precision and meticulous movement, and more about just burly, big, strong moves.
That's London Street from Germany. I think it's also her 3rd boulder already. No, it's a 4th boulder for her.
Yeah, that's the final boulder.
Yeah, she didn't score any points on the on the 3rd one.
Actually, I'm just checking now. Nobody topped yet the 3rd boulder from the women's division. And in the boys' case, it's the 4th boulder that hasn't yet been topped. The girls' case, it's the 3rd, and the 4th either hasn't been topped, only a zone achieved. But the 3rd, if I'm seeing correctly, not even a zone has been achieved on the 3rd boulder of the women's. So, and this is that. Let's see. It's the heel hook solution, maybe.
Yeah, that's Gieke Havermans.
Yeah. Maybe the left foot would be better to bring up a bit higher because it's just too short like this. and this heel hook didn't look the most securely in place either. Doing a good heel hook is an art unto itself. There we saw for a moment the back of the German coach. We made a mini interview with him during the competition. You can check it on the Hungary Climbing Instagram.
Oops. That's Ida Stapelberg from Germany. Ida is 16 years old. She was 7th in the European Championships in Žilina last year, 2025, and 5th a year before in Kurno. No, it's the same year, sorry, 25. That was in Boulder. She was 7th in speed.
Wow, an all-round climber
yeah,
then.
she is.
Less than a minute to go.
I don't even remember seeing anybody competing in speed and Boulder. And no lead.
Oh, this was much closer on the women's third. Maybe even a bit more pull on this right heel to properly, you know, I call it spoon. You use it like you spoon yourself onto your ankle, pulling first with the heel and then gradually kind of sitting onto it. It's a very particular type of move. You need a lot of muscles engaged, your hip flexor is engaged, and it can make the world of a difference if you properly pull on the heel.
So Ida is not going to top the first boulder either. She still has chance on the other boulders later. Yeah, slab can be a very, very tricky stuff.
Yes, you know, after the first climber, I nearly thought, okay, so they're all gonna flash this.
Yeah.
But climbing can be misleading in these ways. Something that looks really easy for one might provide a very big challenge for someone else.
So next rotation.
Slipping.
She's Elisa Daddario for Italy, and that on your picture now is Yeva Stienkova from Bulgaria. Yeva is 15 years old, and she was 3rd in Graz this year in the Europe Youth Series. And of course she was here last year in Sukoró, Hungary, and she finished in 5th position. Oh wow, that was a comfortable top from her. Look at that.
Very comfortable.
Giving some claps to the top, hold, nice. Thank you, bro, for letting me up.
In the meantime, we saw a near top by Alexander Tikov. And there is the top. He achieves the top.
Yeah, Tikhov is an individual neutral athlete, getting the job done in half time.
Exactly.
So brushing and the same time looking at the watch, looking at the clock.
Now we can focus on 4 competitors instead of 6. With the tops that we had.
As it might have been the 2 quickest stops.
Yeah, they were really quick. Maybe the first round was as quick.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's see.
Nice.
Beautiful.
That's Maya Ene from Romania. She couldn't top the first boulder, but this looks like a pretty nice move. Ow.
She also went for this solution of holding the edge of this dual text hold. We are seeing some effort on women's boulder 3, which we are yet to see even a zone on it. On women's boulder 3, we see the heel hook, and oh, we saw a near zone on women's 3.
The Belgian guy is Emilien Del Marcel, 15 years of age.
Let's see. Yes, she's beautifully squatting onto the left foot. Oh, this cost the attempt.
Yeah, that's 0 tops from 2 boulders for her. So it's not the start she wanted. I'm not sure this is going to be enough to make it through to the finals, but we'll see. She still has 2 boulders to go.
Well, yeah, with the third boulder being such a challenge, that evens a bit the ground, but I think probably for the finals, one will need at least 2 tops and maybe even 3.
And we still haven't seen any top on boulder number 3 for the women, right?
We haven't. Nor for number 4. Only a zone. And yes, and this might be the first top on men's 4.
That was Emiliano Zingrini, I think, yeah, from Italy. And that's an important top for him.
And it immediately transported him to the top of the board with 83.5 points. No one so far who has faced this 4th men's boulder even managed to get a zone on it, let alone a top. So that makes a huge difference that the Italian managed to top it, and actually it was a flash attempt, so it must really suit his style.
And there was a girl going under my radar, Maria Silkina, individual neutral athlete. She topped the first 2 boulders in less tries than London Street. So after 2 boulders she was the leader. She's still to compete on boulder number 3.
Let's see if we might see finally zone and a top on this women's 3. That looked a bit lacking of belief, this attempt. And there we go. Once the feet is established, it's a bit more stable.
Sheer power. Wow.
Very burly move. But she keeps up the struggle, puts in the heel hook, and she actually uses the red holds. No, she goes back onto the well, it's I was wondering why they don't use those screw-on holds, but this finger pocket that they are holding there, the red one, it has a blocker hold, which probably makes it more slippery to heel there. So that's why they use the big black one under.
40 seconds.
Let's see if she can get a top here.
That's Karolina Gradaski. She was the winner last year here in Sukoró.
I remember now. The climbers are changing so much each year at this age that I didn't always recognize everybody this year. I suppose from one year to another, when you are 15, 16, 17 years old, you change a lot.
So the brushers coming up on scene. And Nienke Kodde is coming out from the Netherlands for the first boulder from the women. And that means on the men's side we're gonna have a Slovenian climber, Lovro Tomazin. And also our athlete, individual neutral athlete, Maria Silkina, could not get any points on boulder number 3. But after 3 boulders, she still leads. Now, of course, Ristoskova is in the first place because she has already completed the 4th boulder and collected a few points for the zone. But all other athletes behind her still to come on boulder number 4. This is 173. She's Yeva Stienkova from Bulgaria.
She finds the step. Will she be able to pull herself onto it? The left knee needs to bend. I sometimes call this fishing yourself onto the step. Like you sort of, you put out your, your foot and you kind of fish. We have a zone here on women's 3. Maybe what you said will turn out to be the case, because it wasn't it her that you said maybe she will manage to get the one nobody managed to get.
Yeah.
She didn't get the slab in the beginning, I think. That was the most promising attempt so far on women's boulder 3, what we saw before.
The problem is that the zone is not going to be enough. She would need the top.
For sure. For sure.
Wow, that was a nice move from
almost,
the Slovenian.
Yes, and almost simultaneous tops over there on the women and men boulder 3.
Yeah, that's Lovro Tomazin on the men's side, and Nienke Kodde from the Netherlands.
She drops back down to rest a little bit in a better position and recompose herself.
Stienkova from Bulgaria. She's so close to the top, you see it. It's almost within reach, but there's only one sequence that could work out and it doesn't. And she really gives a lot of power out. So she needs to rest now, probably for a last attempt.
Yes, which hopefully will fit into the time.
Yeah.
And here is men's boulder 4, which we have only seen one athlete top so far.
Yeah, that's a big overhang.
That's a very big overhang. They saved the hardest for last in this competition. This wall is not a permanent feature here. It has been built specifically for the competition, and on the other side of this wall is actually the warm-up wall of the athletes, which also leans out, but to the other direction, of course. There we see the tininess of the jib that they need to fish themselves onto at this point without even having a good handhold. So
yeah, these might have been the last attempts until the time is up. And now the brushers come.
the brushers are also all volunteers from the Hungarian climbing community. it's really beautiful to see how the community came together, to everybody puts their effort into making this enormous competition run as smoothly as possible.
I haven't seen this time, I haven't checked all the persons, but usually it's some of them are from the national team themselves. Last year on the big competitions it was.
Indeed, yes. No, this time it's
this time no.
more behind the scenes people. The national team were competing, many of them.
Yeah, we had the Olympic qualifiers before. That was a big event.
Yeah, on the Olympic qualifier series event 2 years ago, it was huge. Yes, and we had many team members. And
seeing a guy brushing who has climbed 9A.
Yes, exactly.
But that was a big event. Well, this one is the biggest one that the local federation has ever organized fully alone.
Yeah.
So it's a big time for us, for the national federation.
Yes. And so far so good. We are getting quite positive feedback.
That's important.
Yes, let's hope that it will all run like this. Perhaps the hardest days are behind us, because in qualifiers is when most athletes are competing, and that logistically that one is very hard.
And the location itself, the facility is one of the most complex facilities in Hungary. It's a pretty new one. It's mostly built for kayak and canoe center. That's a pretty big elite sport in Hungary with many Olympic champions, world champions and stuff. So they really put a lot of emphasis on this sport, but they have made and built a permanent climbing wall here, and that's what we can use.
Exactly.
Big enough for a competition like this. We are right by the lakeside in Lake Valence, which is a beautiful place here in Hungary, not very far from the capital city. So it's a great location. And here's everything is about sport. Everything is about the athletes. Wow.
That was so close. That was so close. That's the first time I think someone touched the top there, even just like to slap it. In the meantime, we also saw Neri Shamir from Israel starting his round, and he nearly topped the first boulder, but in the end couldn't find the stabilizing right toe hook in good time. Let's see, another attempt, not a lot of rest.
Yeah, this is Maria Silkina, the individual neutral athlete. Moving beautifully. She already has 2 tops. No points from the third boulder, and now there you go.
That's huge. That's huge.
This might have been for the win.
It's an amazing job.
Because after 3 boulders, she was in the lead.
Let's see where we are now. She is in the lead by far for now with 74.5 points. And we have another one of the not so frequent tops on the women's second. But it is starting to be not that much the deciding boulder. I think women's 3 and 4 for the women's round is the deciding boulder now.
And that's the Austrian girl, Louisa Hyde. Wow! Just falling out on the slab. So no time for rest for the brushers, because the next athletes running out on stage. From Italy, we're gonna welcome Chiara Franceschi. There she goes. And also on the men's side, it's gonna be Lukas Ebner from Germany. Chiara is only 14 years old. She was 7th in Graz and 6th in Seoul. This is her first year competing. quite a strong start.
Very strong start.
One can
Very,
say.
very strong start.
Let's see what we know about Lukas Ebner. Also 14 years of age, so quite young. Also his first year and 2 20th places from Seoul and Graz.
And on the women's Boulder 3, we saw another zone and a match on the zone, but then the athlete came down. It was not clear why, but it seemed like her legs were not happy with the position.
That's Nienke Kode from the Netherlands.
From the Netherlands. It's very interesting with these coordination moves because one needs to envision where they will need to land and in exactly what position they need to land. And normally when you do this in a gym, you can experiment with just trying the landing position and see, and then you can get your body to arrive there. But here you cannot do that. You have to do the whole sequence from the beginning all together. And it's a very hard sequence to learn.
That's Maya Eni from Romania. We already told about her that she was finalist in Boulder and in lead in the World Championships last year for the youth age categories. That's Chiara Franceschi. Moving delicately, but she can't stay on the wall.
Valiant effort after valiant effort on the coordination jump we see as well. It must be so draining to give so many tries on this women's fourth boulder.
That was a good shot from the Dutch girl, just how she was slipping down from the volume, from the handhold. That these are the moves that, you know, tear your skin apart.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's nice. That is nice. Lukas Ebner from Germany. Starting with the top in this competition. Happy. And rightly so. So let's see Chiara. Oh, just a slip with the foot and it's a chain reaction. Only 18 seconds.
Yes, a bit of inaccuracy.
So Maya. It's not gonna stick this time either, so it's gonna be harder and harder for her to make the finals.
4 seconds. That is a very meticulous stop for. Oh, too bad. They hear the beeps. We have these beep sounds in the background. The athletes hear that as well. And that's how they know that the time is up.
Okay, so there are only 3 athletes left that we haven't seen yet. From the women's side, we have Valentina Sofia von Günten from Switzerland. And on the men's side, we have Pietro Franzoni from Italy. Pietro is 15 years old, and he was 3rd in Graz, and he has 1 sore.
Wow.
So
yeah, the athletes are coming out today in reverse order of qualification, so we are seeing those who performed higher on the qualification rounds coming out later, like now.
Pietro was 7th in the European Championships last year in Žilina in lead, and 11th in Boulder in Helsinki. So already quite a lot of competition experience under his belt. And on the women's side, we have 15-year-old Valentina Sofia von Gunten. She has not made within the top 15 yet in any of her competitions.
Beautiful. Well, women's final Boulder, we saw a very airy, easy arrival. This is a very promising attempt here. She didn't get embarrassed from the squat. She leaned into it.
Yeah, she's Ida Stapelberg from Germany. Moving really elegantly on the wall.
Yes, floating almost.
Yeah.
The men's 3 again.
That's Locatelli from Italy.
At this point, we've seen a few tops here. Many zones. So he's catching up with his peers.
1:15 to go. And Locatelli cannot hold that one.
He was almost a bit overcommitted, trying to jump with 2 hands on that, because it's more important to find a good tension point. What a nice little turn.
Yeah, missing totally what needs to be done. 50 seconds to go. Oops, just slipping with the right foot. Checking once again what to do. A little bit more chalk. 35 seconds. He's running out of time. Oh, missing it again completely. Probably scrubbing his foot or leg.
And we
Ida!
have the top.
Wow! Ida Stapelberg.
If I'm not mistaken, that is the second top that happened on this final Boulder of the women. Yes, the second top there.
And that was Louisa Hyde not making the top this time. So after 4 boulders, we have Maria Silkina, individual neutral athlete, in the lead on the women's side from Ida Christoskova. And Maria is the only one to top 3 boulders yet. Of course, there are many who are still to come on boulder number 4. So.
And interestingly, Ida hasn't topped any other boulder than this last one. The third one nobody did. We only have a few zones there. And the fourth, only her and Maria Silkina has topped.
So this is Alexander Tichov, individual neutral athlete.
That's it. Beautiful. That was super stable. Very strong top. Maybe the most stable one we've seen on this boulder so far.
That was Chiara Franceschi.
I wonder if we will see any tops on the women's third.
And that's Amelie Kegi from Switzerland making the top in 1.5 minutes. It might have been her first attempt. I haven't counted, but that was nice. Or as the Swiss would say, "Ist gut gsi."
That's what they say?
Ist gut gsi, yeah.
Nice. The social media crew here have been making little interviews with competitors to learn the different ways that different countries cheer. It's been very, very nice to interact with the delegations from everywhere. the men's boulder 3, we see another interesting attempt. Let's see if a top can be born from it.
Wow.
That was a bit far. Didn't dare to use the tiny, tiny foothold just under this transparent one.
So one fall after the other. That's Jankova. That was a Dutch girl yet. Janke Kodde, I think.
And on women's 4.
That's Jankova. 1 minute to go. She seemed a little bit clueless.
To me, she seems like she's hesitating, trying to decide between 2 ways of doing this and not fully committing to either way of doing it. And sometimes when you are stuck between solutions, it's worse. It's just better to just choose a solution. Climbing is also very philosophical.
Yeah.
Many times we are stuck in dilemmas, and it's worse to be paralyzed between decisions than to just go with one of them. And we have a zone. But it looks like switching from the heel there into a step is proving difficult. Nobody managed to do it so far. Also, nobody managed to match the zone on this third boulder. So it remains the biggest challenge. Oh, too bad.
Yeah, time's up.
Yeah, I think he felt that he might have had that if he had just a tiny bit more time.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes.
Most of them would feel like that, I think.
Yes, yes, for
Just
sure.
give me a little bit more time, please.
I wish we wouldn't have to press so much for time in competitions, and maybe after the rounds the athletes could go back to try the boulders, but there is always such a tight schedule with all the different rounds that the boulders are being taken down immediately after or altered for the next event of the competition.
And now we have our last athletes on the starting boulder, Flavia Ghilardi from Switzerland and Leonardo Donola from Italy. That's Flavia.
So that means they are the athletes who finished on top of the board.
Exactly.
On Thursday, when there was the quali of the under 17 age group.
Flavia is only 14 years old. She was 5th in Sukoró this year and 11th in Graz. And Leonardo already topping out in 1.5 minutes on men's first boulder. He was 4th in Graz, 2nd in Sukoró, and also 5th in lead last year in Žilina in the European Championships. Only 19th in the bouldering World Championships, but that's a World Championship. So Leonardo is a pretty strong competitor in this field. And now we see Valentina Sofia von Gunten from Switzerland. Now at the hand change.
Opa,
nice,
what a
nice,
flip. Beautiful,
and she's done it.
Like a side toe hook. How she
it.
flipped the hand so accurately and confidently. That was really nice.
That's Karolina Gradaski, the winner from last year here.
So we won't see again the men's boulder 1 and women's boulder 1 either. Looks like they have both been topped the most during this round. And now we see the final fourth boulder.
Half a minute. Last tries on these boulders. Still 3 competitors trying very, very hard. And the time is up. No cigar this time for the 3 athletes. So now we have seen the whole field. So the first boulder will stay empty, but the rotations go, of course. And now the aim is to get the top 8. So we just need to get through somehow to the final. Scores will be deleted, so it doesn't matter if you were first or 8th. The most important thing is to get in the final. And who knows, maybe the new routes in the final will suit you better. So it can reverse, it can change everything. Well,
the only way,
usually sometimes, of course, it stays somehow the same, but it's really rare that you come from 8th to first. But the chance is there.
Absolutely. The only reason for which it can count what happens in the semifinals,
if there's a tie.
If there is a tie, if the points are the same, then the order in which the competitors got into the finals will be the decisive factor in the order.
Two and a half minutes. That's Lukas Ebner from Germany. Placing his left foot. Preparing for a step forward. Nice. And he gets it.
Let's see if he finds the way to top. Oh. It didn't get scared from this tiny foothold. The next one, which we see now, many of the athletes just looked at it and were like, nah, no, I'm jumping from the one under. He didn't get scared of it. He did step it, but then the jump was a bit inclined outwards from the wall, unfortunately, so he couldn't catch the final hold. It's also a very important thing which direction do you generate your momentum in, and very small differences can mean that you are actually jumping out from the wall, and actually you have to jump into the wall in order to catch the next hold.
So Lukas again, next try. And maybe his body has learned a lot of things, but it's still bloody hard to pass this.
Yes, it's bloody hard to generate just the right tension. Because here, if you generate a bit too much tension, you can easily fall out. What I mean by too much tension is like if you pull too much compared to how stable your foot is, you can fall out because of that. And sometimes if you push with your feet too much compared to your hand, you can fall out because of that. So you have to find just the right amount of tension to stay inside the wall.
35 seconds for Lukas.
Let's see if he can keep composure. No, it's a bit of rushing.
Yeah, he's trying to rush it because he knows the times is up.
So far only one top on the men's fourth boulder, and he decides to
Yeah, that was Lovro Tomazin. We haven't really talked about what's the situation in the men's comp. And it's Emiliano Zingrini in the lead. By far, 3 tops. Daniel Mendaña Jimenez is second and Esteban Turnus is third in the moment. But there are some who have not finished, of course, Boulder number 4 yet.
Three athletes to go still. Sorry, 4 athletes.
Yeah, but it looks like Emiliano Zingrini will not be catchable.
Yeah, he will not be easily displaced from the top. I'm just really rooting to see a top on women's boulder 3. So far, that's the only boulder in the entire round that's not been topped.
That move didn't really suit the Swiss girl, and shaking a hand.
Yeah. So that's what I was talking about a bit earlier, that there are those screw-on red holds, and the finger pocket has a blocker hold, which doesn't make it easy to do the heel hook there. We are back in women's 2. I love this kind of elastic jump that they have to do here. They're like a rubber band, like whoop.
Well, I wonder when will it be in the school knowledge stuff, in physics classes, how sport climbers are using physics and what power they have to generate with scrubbing and
exactly. I'm not gonna lie, I gained a lot more understanding for physics since I'm climbing. You just experience physics with it.
How many kilonewtons you have to press and stuff.
She managed to flip it into a step, and in spite of the blocker hold, she managed to switch the heel into a step, and she's going out. Will we see a top on this boulder finally? I would be so happy to see a top. Come on. She's not losing composure. She's very determined to keep going. And
she has it.
Top.
She has it. Jesus, what a power.
That's serious power and determination, most of all. This was a very, very power endurance sequence.
I'm tired.
Yes, just watching it, yes. And we are back on women's boulder 2. A little twist of the knee would be required on the right side. Exactly that.
Yeah, she's the other Swiss girl, Flavia Gilardi.
She flips. She wanted to flip the right hand here. She does. And can she establish for a top?
There you go.
Different way, yes. Instead of the further side toe hook, she opts for the closer one. And she has a top.
42 seconds. That's Leonardo Donola. Looking at the clock and giving it one more try. 18 seconds.
It's probably required to top this one because this was the most topped one other than the first for the men.
And the time is up.
And so no top there. As far as I can see, there is an appeal going for a zone of Nienke Kodde from the Netherlands.
And for her is of course important because she is sitting in 10th place right now, so it's about getting into the final or not. So they will take every chances if there was something that they can lean on.
Exactly right.
Sometimes it's just a decision whether she had really controlled the
Yes.
top hold, who knows, or
Yes.
at the starting position. There's always some things that you can screw up. Or you can appeal that the competitor in front of you have made a mistake.
Yes.
That also happens sometimes.
I must say that I'm a bit split with the whole appeals thing. But I understand since competition climbing is becoming more and more serious, there had to be a mechanism to contest if something was unclear.
So 2:25 to go. That's Amelie Kegi from Switzerland. And she gets it.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
So you've seen the last 3 athletes out from the women were all Swiss athletes who qualified first in the first 3 spots for the semifinals, and they are making quick work of this boulder that no other athlete managed to top.
Yeah, and Amelie with this takes over the lead from Maria Silkina, and Amelie only with 3 boulders, and she still has the last boulder to go. 3 tops from 4 tries, so 2 flashes.
Amazing, amazing. That's the next level.
Yeah, only lost 0.1 points. The maximum after 3 boulders would be 75, and she has 74.9.
Let's see if we can see another top at some point for this men's boulder 4.
Yeah, Lukas Ebner from Germany, working hard. 1 minute to go. Maybe his last attempt. I don't think he's gonna have too much time for another one if this one doesn't stick, and he's shaking his head, not really confident about what to do or how it can be successful. 40 seconds, slipping straight away. Getting some chalk. Those hands are probably hurting on the skin, and maybe maybe the strength is running out as well. Yeah. 20 seconds. Yeah, he's desperate to at least get the zone. Even the start position is hard now.
Yeah.
It's not gonna go.
Not gonna go. You cannot use, you know, those touch logins after competitions because your fingers no longer have the lines. It's true, like you're just not able.
Yeah. So better not commit any crime.
Either. Or maybe you can, I don't know. You won't be identified.
Or maybe that would be the time to to do it.
Yeah, it peels off so many layers of skin. Well, athletes like to have like an even skin, so there are all these little devices to polish your skin in climbing. It's really interesting behind the scenes in competitions how like Formula One drivers, they are with their own bodies. They are doing all these little polishing here, taping up there, all kinds of little corrections. And this is a much stronger start now.
That's Pietro Franzoni.
Very promising from Will we see another top on this boulder finally? Very burly move, pressing into the left side, and
wow,
that seemed nearly easy. Powerful, but it suits him very well this
yeah, I
style.
think the clue was the crux when he put his right foot up. That was probably on the limit.
Yeah.
That's Flavia Gilardi, the Swiss girl, 189 now. And that's Leonardo Donola, the Italian.
Let's see if he can get a top and not only a zone on men's boulder number 3. Very comfortably arriving statically to the penultimate hold. Will he decide to use? Yes, he decides to use the small one. Establishes, very quickly puts out the left foot for tension, and we have a top. Even there was a bit of a turn, but he didn't get embarrassed from it. And let's see if our third Swiss athlete will also top this very challenging boulder number 3 of the women's. Unbelievable.
She's getting on it.
Unbelievable what the Swiss team is doing here. And we
There
have
you go.
another Swiss top 3 out of 3, and nobody else managed to top women's number 3.
That was really powerful.
Very powerful, and the rightful celebration at the top.
And still more than 1 minute to go.
Still more than 1 minute to go. And her teammate on women's number 4, the coordination boulder.
Yeah, she's Valentina Sofia von Gunten from Switzerland, the third Swiss. Still has 55 seconds.
Which might be enough to top this one. Let's see.
The jump. No, she can't hold it.
Yeah. The arrival, she arrives a bit too frontally. Her knee looks towards the wall, which is not very practical here. Usually athletes who managed this move were squatting down pretty low, and they arrived onto this volume with the knee pointing to the left, and it's a kind of like half-legged squat. Let's see if she learned from that attempt.
16 seconds. And no. It's not going to work
It was
out.
a little bit better,
Yeah.
but unfortunately the time is running out.
Yeah, she was going for another attempt, but
She
the time,
lays on the floor.
yeah, the time was just cruel. It's going to slip out of your hands.
And we have very few rotations left.
Yeah.
And soon we will learn who are the 8 athletes from the under 17 women and men who will make it to the finals tomorrow. And the setters already started working, started to take off. Men and women boulder 1, they won't be needed anymore there, so they are trying to make some way into the job of resetting for the semi-final of the under 19-year-olds. So they are already
So that's Amelie Kegi. 3 tops, 4 tries. So that's 2 flashes for Amelie. Can she make a full pull?
We'll see. We'll see. The coordination doesn't seem to suit the Swiss team as much
Not yet, yeah.
as the previous boulder.
And she doesn't really seem too comfortable with the start either.
Yeah. It matters a lot what style is a particular team most practiced at. It depends on, you know, what route setting is available in a particular country, what styles they have a chance to practice most. And what does the local climbing culture and climbing community prefer, basically.
So half the time is gone. Let's see Amélie. Wow. The Swiss camp getting loud.
Yeah.
Hoping for this one.
Yep. It must be so scary to jump downwards on these volumes. Always when there is a coordination, you have to jump down. It's quite I'm always worried for them not to get an injury.
And that's the French guy, Oscar Venet.
Seems to be a bit more challenging for him, this final boulder.
Yeah.
And we have the coordination. Nearly stuck it. The landing position is better. She figured out that it's best to arrive in a kind of half leg squat.
1 minute 10. Looking carefully at the volumes.
Yes, and she is raising slightly the left hand, kind of reminding herself that in order to establish, she also needs to hold the left side of this big volume, which is true, which is how it worked out for most of us, most of the athletes.
Yeah, but this sequence haven't worked out.
A bit too high here, yes. Must be a crazy pressure as well.
It must be. 4 minutes are gone so quickly. It's only 35 seconds now.
In the meantime, the setters are working on the wall of the first 4 boulders. Already starting the reset. Only these final boulders now with these 2 athletes.
And now, I think this was the last try for her. And that was the French guy, Venet. He was 9th in Graz this year. 15 years of age.
I think 1 more rotation, right?
Yep. Flavia Ghilardi is going to come out with Leonardo Donola. Let's see what we have now. Well, according to my computer, it's going to be Emiliano Zingrini from Italy on top in the men's.
I will refresh. We might see some interesting things happen here.
Yeah, he is already into the finals after the 3rd boulder, because he's in 7th position without the 4th boulder. So Donola should be in, but he can't win, I think. Well, if he flashes, then maybe.
He already had an attempt, so.
Okay, and that's.
The attempt got him a zone.
That was 6 attempts, Zingrini 7 attempts, so 8 attempts, 3 tops. So now Flavia. It was nice to see how she takes up the starting position with 2 feet up.
Yes, because there are 4 tapes there, so it's a must.
Yeah, Batman style.
Yes.
And that's also a critical point that you can miss.
Absolutely.
At the start.
Yeah.
Just not touching with 1 feet or the other.
That's the stuff appeals are made out of usually, yes.
So 2 minutes. Leonardo Donola. So hard, you can't really see.
Beautiful switching from the toe to a heel. Oh wow, there was a toe there was a heel hook, and then he tried also to make a toe hook with his right foot. It was very creative and interesting experimentation, but unfortunately not stable enough.
Yeah, from this angle, you can't really see how steep it is, that overhang. That's brutal.
Yeah, absolutely. And now they're not wearing chalk bags, so because I usually say, look at how the chalk bag is hanging.
Yeah.
You can see when it's a lead climb or a sport
And he
climb.
doesn't have a ponytail, so that's
exactly.
not...
That's the other. The ponytail is the other clue.
So Flavia. 1 minute to go. She's really not close yet. So Leonardo again, 42 seconds.
Exactly. Let's see if he finds a better foot sequence for his attempt this time. Yes, the double heel hook.
Okay.
The double heel hook seemed more stable than the previous combinations, but he still couldn't arrive statically enough to that tiny edge, very fingery hold that that he has to progress from there.
Last 15 seconds, and I think Flavia called it. Yes, she had enough for today. Let's see what this will be enough for her for.
Oh, she's well into the finals.
Yeah, she's third. 3 Swiss in the top 4, and Maria Silkina, the individual neutral athlete, is second. So great day for her. She has made it into the finals, just like Ida Christoskova, Karolina Gradaski, the winner from last year here, London Street from Germany, and the Polish Maja Juszczynska. That's what I see. I hope my results are good.
I see the same as you.
So Stjankova just missing the final by 4.4 points. Ida Stapelberg also. Iloye Sheriff Michel 10th. Nienke Kode from the Netherlands 12th. Chiara Franceschi only 13th. Olivia Kistmacher, Julia Tranfano. Maya Eni only 16th. I was expecting her to be in the final. Varvara Sapronova 17th, Marta Latinat 18th, Luisa Haidt from Austria 19th, Neva Pirš from Slovenia 20th, Adela Bodanska 21st, Geike Havemans from the Netherlands 22nd, Lisa Guidoni from France 23rd, and Elisa Daddario is 24th in the semi-finals.
And there is a pretty good separation.
Yeah,
I would say.
you needed 3 tops for the top 3.
Yes.
From the 4th, you have only toe tops.
Within the 8 who qualified for the finals, there are little groups of 3 or 4 sometimes, where only 1 point differentiates them, but later the differentiation becomes larger. Shall we check the men as well?
Yes, of course. That's Emiliano Zingrini coming out on top with 3 tops from 8 tries. Leonardo Donola second, so it's Italy 1 and 2. And then we have Spain in 3rd position, Daniel Mendaña Jimenez. 4th is Esteban Turnes from France. 5th is Pietro Franzoni, another Italian. 6th is Olivier Huisman from Switzerland, so there's a Swiss guy over in the finals as well. 7th is Vincent van Hage from the Netherlands, and 8th is Laurin Becker from Germany. That's the top 8 going through to the finals. Manuel Navarrete Alcaraz 9th, and he just missed out by 0.1 of a point. That's only 1 try, so that's how important it is.
Yeah, it can make a big difference at this point. Yeah.
Lovro Tomáš in 10th, 11th Jakob Burcher from Austria, 12th is Alexander Tichov, 13th is Lukas Ebner from Germany, 14th is Artemi Sivash, 15th is Konstanty Wolodarski from Poland. 16th is Oscar Venet from France. 17th is Pier Giulio Pagliarani from Italy. One top for him, and that was a flash. 18th is Emilian Del Marcel from Belgium. 19th Bastian Darunia, also one top. 20th is Idan Uchman. 21st Neri Shamir from Israel, also one top. 22nd Hamar Haneman without any tops, and Andrea Locatelli 23rd and Julian Leitner 24th.
And you will see the top 8 compete tomorrow at 9 o'clock. It will also be streamed on YouTube on the World Climbing Europe channel, just like today. And for now, we are going for a bit of a break, and we'll continue with the semifinals of the under-19 age group at 1:30 today.
1:30, so you got a nice break to have lunch, grab a beer or whatever, and we'll looking forward to welcome you back again here in Sukoró.
We'll be back at 1:30.
See you later.
See you.